Hi friends, I welcome you all at Crack Grade B. In this video, we are going to discuss some economic and social issues for RBI Grade B exam. We will discuss some descriptive questions based upon migration and related issues in India. So what is our first question for today? What is migration and what are the causes for the migration in India? We will answer this question in introduction. Actually, I want to tell you that any question, you will answer any question in a particular format. This is introduction, body, and in last, conclusion. You can use some punchline from newspaper, some facts to put some impression in the question. So in this particular question, I'm asking you what is the migration and what are the causes for the migration. So first, in this paragraph, you will define the introduction. Human migration is a movement of the people from one place in the world to the another place. Not world, it can be internal, it can be external. So, human migration is a movement of the people from one place to another place. Migration can be of voluntary migration or involuntary migration. Voluntary migration, if a person chooses to move, and in case of involuntary migration, person forcibly move to one place to another place. So this is called involuntary migration. And migration is a global phenomenon because caused not only by economic factor but many other factors like social, political, cultural and environmental, health, education are included under the broader classification of the push and pull factor of migration. So this is the introductory part. Now we will discuss the various causes, various factors for the migration. We can categorize the migration in two forms. The one is the push factor and the second is the pull factor. Push factor, go by the words. Push factor are those that compel a person due to different reasons to leave a place of origin. And in case of pull factor, the factor which attract migrant to an area of destination. So, remember two words, place of origin, out of migration in case of push factor. In case of pull factors, attract migration. Now, what are the cause of the migration in India? There are various causes and we will define the cause in push and pull form, which I have told you earlier. There are three factors: the economic factors, socio-political factor and the environmental factor. Under the economic factor, these related to the labor market of place, the employment situation and the overall state of the economy. For example, Bihar and Tamil Nadu. Now we will define these causes in terms of push and pull factors. Under the push factors, unemployment or lack of employment opportunities. In case of Bihar, there may be unemployment or lack of employment, rural poverty and unsustainable livelihood. So the person from Bihar will be pushed to go to the another place. So this is a push factor and it is an economic factor. In case of the pull factor, if we talk about in Tamil Nadu, more job opportunities, better income as compared to Bihar. In Tamil Nadu, industrial innovation and technical know-how for a new industry, pursuit of specialization in education. So the people leaving Bihar and attracting towards Tamil Nadu. Reason are this. These all are the economic factors. Now, the socio-political factors, these include family conflicts, unification, the quest for independence, ethnic, religious, racial, culture parameters, warfare, threat of conflicts, and various factors there may be. Under the push factors, political instability, unrest in Assam, Manipur, the people will be pushed by these factors and the people migrate from these place to the another place. So the reason will be political instability, safety and security concerns, and ethnic, and there are various reasons, racial, culture, persecutions, in slavery and bonded labor, inadequate limited urban services and infrastructure. In case of pull factor, family reunification, independence of freedom, integration, social cohesion, food security, affordable access and urban services. So these are some pull factors. Just like in Maharashtra, there are stability as compared to the northern eastern state. So people will move from northern eastern state to the Maharashtra for getting stability, social cohesion and food security. And there are some ecological factors you can have. These include environmental factors such as climate change, availability of natural resources, cause individual to migrate in search of more favorable ecological conditions. For example, the person from Uttarakhand want to move to the northern part, just like UP, just like Rajasthan, just like Gujarat. So what are the push and pull factor under these ecological factors? The climate change. If there are some problem of climate, then the person will leave this place and move to that place where they will get some ecological favorable conditions. Crop failure, in case of the person is working in West Bengal, working in Bihar, and they face some crop failure, then they will move towards Punjab and Haryana. In case of pull factors, abundance of natural resources and mineral. For example, Punjab and Haryana are more grain producing states, so the peoples and the labor is migrating from Bihar to these places. So these are some ecological factors which pushing a person to migrate. So we have discussed three factors, economic, ecological and social and political factors. So it can be the whole answer you can give for the question which I have asked you. In last, you can conclude your answer. For example, migration may be due to various socio-economic and political factors, but it acts as a tool that lead a reduction of inequalities and gap between the rich and poor. It allows many to raise their standard of living, but unsustainable migration is a threat to countries' urban health. What is required is development of rural areas to check massive migrations. The government is developing tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Why? Because they are moving towards, they are stopping the migration, because unsustainable migration is going to create the problem of health, social benefit and social security to the migrants. So development of this tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 cities are necessary of the hour. Now the second question is, what is the significance of internal migration for the economy? I have framed this question from the current situation, and you can expect these types of question. I mean to say here that you should have a basic knowledge of the subject, and you should have the current data also available with you. From current news, you can write some punchline in your question, so you can make your answer impressive and attractive to the examiner. I am coming back to my question. What is the significance of the internal migration for the economy? How has the COVID-19 has changed the situation of migrant and it is hurting the economy? Explain. So we will define some introductory part through the question. We will take some data from census 2011. So according to the census 2011, there were 139 millions of interstate migrants who moved for all manners of reasons ranging from education to the marriage. Marriage is the main reason behind the migration because female has to move to their counterpart after their marriage. So this is the main reason behind the migration in India. So there are various reasons: education, marriage and employment. Under the COVID-19 situation, COVID-19 crisis for India has also become economic as well as humanitarian, involving interstate migrants on return journey home led by pain and suffering and no surety of any income going ahead. So what I have introduced my introduction, I have taken some data from 2011, I have defined the cause of the migration. In last, I have defined the situation and what is the effect of this migration on the poor people and the poor migrants. So this is my introductory part. Now, the significance of internal migration of the economy. There are many reasons, there are many significance. First significance is dependence of multiple industry. Major subsectors like textile, brick kiln, small scale industry required the labor. And if the intermigration will stop, so there will be no exchange of skill. The people will not move from one place to another place for skill development and for their knowledge sharing. For example, the person who is moving from Bihar and he knows some work, and if he is working in a Tamil Nadu, then definitely he is going to have some this industry and they are contributing in GDP. As per a calculation, around 10% of India's gross GDP comes through this economic contribution of the migrants. So this is the importance of the migrant in economy. Second is demand of casual work and better income. Intermigration is a major force for unskilled worker industry and daily wage worker. So daily wage worker generally comes from the migrant part of the labor. So it is also contributing, it is also the significance for the economy. Now, the most important part is the income source for the poor region. As per internal remittance in India, it is told around $7.485 billion. It is a huge figure in 2007 and 8 according to our data. So we can say that if the person stop migrating from one place to another place, then definitely we are going to lose this amount, and it is in billion. So what will happen if the person will not move and this amount will not come into the picture? It will highlight the poverty and inequality and reducing potential of internal migration. The flow of the money will stop, and the flow and the money which are benefiting the many families of the poor will stop. Interstate male migrants often move alone, which become part of the cheap labor force in which Indian economy capitalized to attract foreign direct investment. So it is also important part. For example, 11 million migrant population registered under the census 2011 in South Delhi. Only around 27,000 are female. So left our families in rural area, reduce the cost of living in the urban center, which help them to survive and send remittance to the wages. Overall, we can say that if the migration from these places will not take place, then we are going to lose some amount, and the most of the families which are depend upon this remittance of the migrant labor, they are losing this money, and the family survival will become very critical. On the other hand, we can say that internal migration increase homogeneity of Indian society, with more cosmopolitan cities help in increasing national integrity. So it is a very important part. Now, what is the impact of the migrant on exodus of the economy? If the migrant labor will leave their place, then what will happen? It will collapse of mini economies. Mini economy मतलब rickshaw puller and the daily wages. If the person will not get these types of migrant workers, then the overall economy faced major blow due to this exodus. Example, tea shop outside private office, for example, which catered demand in the urban center generated demand in the distant rural area by remittance of money. Because if a person is selling tea in urban area, definitely he's sending some money to their origin, to their origin place of original place. So which completely closed due to the exodus. The establishment of local ancillary service economy is not automatic. So we can say that in this whole paragraph, it is talking about the importance of the migrant labor. For example, there are many industries which depend upon the migrant labor. And if this migrant labor is not coming into these organizations, into these manufacturing, into these companies, then definitely the profitability margin of these companies will reduce. And the person who is depend upon this organization is going to lose their job. And in last, we can say that if the migrant laborers will be in short, then a high input cost in manufacturing state will wipe out profit of business, which will reduce the export potential eventually. So we can say that the migrant exodus on the economy will reduce the profitability. It will plug the regional source gap, and in last we can say that it will also affect the export potential of the organization. So these are some impact of migrant exodus on the economy. More the production delay we can have. Definitely the workers will not be available, then it is going to delay in the production. Stress on MSME. Socio-economic inequality. It is an important part. When the poor becomes poor, there can be serious long-term impact on the economic growth. Definitely. We can say that according to a study, one of the main mechanisms through which inequality affects growth and development is by limiting educational opportunities for children from poorer background, reducing their prospects of social mobility and breaking out the caste-based occupation. So we can say that if the migrant labor will not be available in the economy, then the inequality will become huge and that this gap will increase. And we can say that the poorer become poorer and the educational standard and the health standard of the people will also go down. And these educational, social benefit and health benefit will reduce. Definitely this inequality of the people will also increase. So we can say that the importance of the migrant labor is very important for our economic growth and for our social security upliftment. So it was all points which I have covered. You can take them while writing your answer. The question number 3 is discuss the issue related to the migration in India. I am talking about the issue. So you can take some current situation, current part also while answering these types of questions. I have write introduction in one line here. There are various issues given related to the migration in India. Some of them are informal growth. What is the meaning of informal growth? I will not read this paragraph one by one. I will explain you. If a person is coming from rural area to urban area, this is a trend. We can say that the person mostly comes from rural area to urban area. Then if we say if the person will come in more number to this urban area, then we have to increase health, education, homes and social benefit, social security. So if a person, and then unsustainable movement of workers, and the person from rural to urban area will increase, will create the pressure on health, education, home, social benefit and social security to the urban area. So what I want to say, that it will create the informal growth. Informal growth means, I have explained you what is the informal growth. So if a person is moving from rural area to urban area, then it will move towards the informal growth. Now, if we come about the jobs, most of the jobs in urban and informal sector pay poorly and involve self-employed workers who turn to petty production of their inability to find labor wage. I mean to say here that the workers who is coming from one state to another state, then there will be definitely a knowledge gap between them. And this knowledge gap will create a income gap between these two persons. The person which is coming from a poor state and the person who is working in the state from the beginning. So the job, so we can say that there are also various forms of discrimination which do not allow migrant to graduate to better paying jobs. So it is also the issue that the person which is coming from the rural area and other state, they are not getting proper payment as per their work done. And they are discriminating at various places. According to a fact, migrant workers can earn only 2/3 of what is earned by the non-migrant workers. In southern state, this is a, if we will talk about a layman language, that a person is coming from a Bihar. Due to their poor condition, he is ready to work at 250 of rupees per day. But its counterpart, which is from the state in which he is working, he is getting money 350 or 450 rupees per day. So this is a gap between a worker and a non-migrant worker. So it is also the issue, and I have already told there are various issues related to health and education. Now the cost of living, if we come to the cost of living, then for example, if a person is coming from Jharkhand, we take example of Jharkhand to Maharashtra, then we consider that in Jharkhand he is able to get some health benefit according to their state. But if he is changing his state, then he is not getting the health benefits which he was getting in its origin of state of origin. So definitely it is going to increase their cost of living. For example, he is not paying any amount to his doctor in Jharkhand, but he is paying 200 to 500 rupees of fees to a doctor which is working in a Maharashtra state. So it is creating burden upon the migrant workers and increasing the cost of living, and it trapped them to borrow money from employer in order to meet these expenses. And in last, the borrowing forces them to sell their assets towards the repayment of the loan. He is coming to earn something in Maharashtra, but he is definitely losing because he is not able to bear the cost of living in this state. So it is also the issues which we have to take care, our government has to take care. Now the last part is source of, in the social factor part, we can say that generally it is the trend that if a person is coming from a poor state, the person who is appointing him, who is giving employment to this poorer worker, then he will definitely bargain for the money which he is going, who is going to pay to him. For example, if a person is coming from Bihar to the Gujarat, then the person in a Gujarat, an employer in the Gujarat will ask to work these poor people at the rate of 250 against the rate which he has already decided for the other workers, like 400 rupees. So this will depend upon the source of the factor. For example, the source of the factor may be the migrant's household social location, her village, her geography, her occupation, his and her occupation. So this social factor is also creating some issues for this the worker who is coming from the other state. So government should think about this place. The government should decide the minimum basic to the worker, and any employer should not go below this minimum basic. So these all are the issues which we have discussed to our question, and you can add some more issues and take some more issues from the current section. When I will upload a video from the current section, January and February part, you can take some punchline, you can take some current issue to fulfill your answer, to make attractive and impressive your answer. So till then, आप पढ़ते रहिए, मेहनत करते रहिए. Happy learning.